What if you never had to worry about what to eat for the rest of your life? What if you could get all the nutrients your body needs from just one drink? This is the central promise of the complete food movement. Complete foods, once the quintessential science fiction concept, are now becoming a part of our daily lives. Busy professionals, programmers, and creators are increasingly living on these powders alone. But can we truly reduce the immense complexity of human life to a single, drinkable formula? Is numerical perfection actually equivalent to biological health? Today, we will investigate the science and the soul of food. Among busy business people and creators who begrudge mealtimes, some have begun to live on complete foods alone for several years, seeking the ultimate height of human efficiency. These are truly perfect meals on paper, meeting 100% of the nutritional standards set by health ministries and global research institutions. On a spreadsheet, every nutritional box is checked. But does our body really operate on such a simple formula? Today, we delve into the scientific background and the unsolved mysteries that synthetic powders leave behind in the lab. First, let's clarify why complete foods can call themselves complete. They are engineered to match the established dietary reference intakes for the average human adult. They contain a precision blend of the three major macronutrients: protein, fat, and carbohydrates, plus over 20 types of essential vitamins and minerals that our bodies require. Theoretically, a diet of this powder prevents classic nutritional deficiency diseases like scurvy or beriberi. For many, it's a significant upgrade over unbalanced restaurant meals or junk food. In fact, many people report stable energy and improved concentration. These products feature low GI designs specifically to suppress the rapid spikes in blood sugar seen in modern processed diets. From an engineering perspective, this is a masterclass in optimization. We have mapped the known requirements of the human machine and built a synthetic fuel to match those specific data points. However, here's the real problem. Has modern nutrition science truly unraveled all the substances that humans need for long-term survival? The answer is likely a resounding no. Consider the thousands of chemical substances called phytochemicals found in natural plants. These are not yet classified as essential nutrients, but they are far from being useless artifacts of nature. Recent research is increasingly revealing their vital roles in antioxidant activity, cellular repair, and maintaining our body's complex and multi-layered immune responses. Complete foods contain the nutrients we know, but not the components we haven't realized are important. This leads us to the phenomenon called the matrix effect in nutrition science. The same vitamin can have vastly different absorption rates and biological effects depending on whether it's taken in isolation or within the complex structure of a whole vegetable. Living solely on complete foods is, in a sense, a gamble. It involves discarding all the natural blessings and complexities that science has not yet fully understood or mapped. We are feeding the body the data it expects, but the hardware may require the subtle nuances found only in the intricate architecture of whole, unrefined foods. The stability of powder is its strength for efficiency, but that very stability represents a lack of the biological dynamism that our ancestors evolved with over millions of years. Another often overlooked aspect is the physical act of eating. If we rely too much on drinkable foods, we lose the vital biological response of mastication or chewing. Chewing increases blood flow to the brain, maintains cognitive function, and even stimulates the satiety center in our brain to regulate metabolic hormones and hunger signals. Furthermore, complete foods are not necessarily ideal for our gut bacteria. These trillions of organisms require diverse fibers to maintain our immunity and our mental state. A diet centered on refined powders risks impoverishing this rich internal ecosystem. When the menu is always the same, the diversity of our microbiome inevitably suffers. Our digestive system is an intelligent sensor. By bypassing the mechanical and chemical complexity of food, we may be detraining our most vital biological systems. Beyond the chemical and biological, there is a deep psychological dimension to food. Satiety is not just about a full stomach or a hit of glucose to the bloodstream. The aroma, the texture, and the visual variety of a meal signal to our brain that we have been nourished. Liquid fuel often leaves the mind feeling empty and unfulfilled. For millennia, the shared meal has been the bedrock of human social structure. By reducing food to a solo efficiency task, we lose a primary thread of human connection. We save time, yes, but we must ask ourselves what we are doing with that saved time, and if it's truly worth the sacrifice of one of life's greatest sensory joys. Our genes were forged in an environment of extreme nutritional diversity and seasonal scarcity. We are not genetically programmed for a steady-state powder diet. Modern complete foods have existed for only a blink of an eye in evolutionary terms. We do not yet have long-term data on multi-generational synthetic diets. Are we accumulating a biological debt by ignoring the subtle signals of our evolutionary history? The body may be surviving, but is it truly thriving as it should? The beauty of natural food lies in its synergism, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Science is still learning how to replicate this natural magic. One size does not fit all. Complete foods are designed for an average human, but your metabolism, gut biome, and genetic history are completely unique. While some thrive on these formulas, others may experience subtle imbalances that go undetected for years. Precision nutrition requires a truly personalized touch. To truly live on powders, one would need constant metabolic monitoring, a level of medical surveillance that most users simply do not have access to in daily life. Nature provides variety through the seasons, forcing our bodies to adapt and stay resilient. A static diet may lead to metabolic fragility over a long period. The efficiency of complete food has a broader context. We must consider the industrial processes and global logistics required to create these sterile powders. While they save time for the individual, the environmental footprint of highly processed packaged nutrition is a factor that conscious consumers cannot ignore. The plastic waste and the energy required for synthesis and shipping create a hidden cost. Is our personal efficiency being bought at the price of planetary health? Furthermore, relying on complete foods places our most basic need, nourishment, into the hands of a subscription economy. We trade self-reliance for convenience. Food is more than fuel. It is art, culture, and memory. It is a fundamental part of the human experience that cannot be distilled into a powder. Our brains are hardwired to find meaning in the sensory details of a meal. When we remove flavor and texture, we remove a primary source of daily joy. The act of preparation is itself a form of meditation and mindfulness. In our rush to be efficient, we may be losing the very rituals that keep us grounded. Perhaps the true human path is not to choose between the lab and the garden, but to find a way to let both coexist in a healthy, modern life. Ultimately, are complete foods truly complete? The answer is that while they are extremely effective as a tool for supplementation, they are incomplete as a life-sustaining process. They are a wonderful invention for our busy modern lives. Choosing them is wiser than skipping breakfast. But we must remember that we are not machines made of efficiency. The bitterness of seasonal vegetables, the sweetness of meat fat, the the joy of sharing a meal. These are essential nutrients that shape our minds and bodies. Instead of striving for 100% synthetic perfection, we should have the flexibility to embrace the beautiful and necessary complexity of the natural world. Use complete foods as a tool to enrich your life, not as something to depend on. It's about finding the balance between the precision of the lab and the richness of the earth. Across the globe, food has always been tied to the land and the season. These traditional diets are the result of thousands of years of biological and cultural evolution. Perhaps this is the path to a healthy and fulfilling life in today's technologically advanced world. Stay curious, stay mindful, and stay nourished. As we move toward a standardized, globalized diet of refined powders and processed liquids, we risk losing the local nutritional wisdom that has sustained diverse populations for eons. Thank you for watching this investigation into the future of food. We wish you a vibrant and flavorful journey. Risi Zai Zien. Reclaiming our relationship with food is a global challenge. It requires us to value the complexity of nature over the simplicity of the factory, even in our fast-paced modern world. The path forward isn't to reject technology, but to use it to support and enhance the natural biological processes that make us uniquely human.